Okay, so watching Lean on Me has inspired a top five. I'm gonna do the top five Morgan Freeman movies of all time.
Yes,
Now it's
sir.
hard. It's hard to really. I kind of did a 50-50. I didn't just do movies. I didn't just do performances. I kind of combined them. So it's definitely open for interpretation. All right, let's do OLI first. Outside looking in. Deep Impact. He was the first black president. Shout out to him. Again, small role, but owns it. Of course, he was the president. The way he talks, his mannerisms, killed it. Also, Million Dollar Baby. I don't know if you ever seen that. He won an Oscar for.
You want an Oscar for supporting role?
Yeah, it's funny. Like, there's no scene that really jumps out, but anytime him and Clint Eastwood are together, they bring the house down,
Hmm.
and got to put it in there. Like I said, it won an Oscar.
Right.
It was tough, man. He's in a lot of great movies, but some of them he's just in
He's
it
just
for
a role player.
20,
Yeah.
yeah, 20 minutes. But sometimes that role player is so good that it still gets into my top five. Like at number five, The Dark Knight.
I knew he was gonna say that.
It was actually a toss up between that and Batman Begins because I actually think he's really good in Batman Begins, like
He is.
introducing the character
Mhm.
and everything. He's in it a little more, but the bribe speech in The Dark Knight is an all timer. Wayne's was it his accountant basically figures out that he's Batman without proof, but has
Yeah.
enough proof. And the way Morgan Freeman talks him off a ledge by saying, "So you think your $1 billion client is chasing on rooftops, driving through the city, and your idea is to bribe the man? Good luck." I mean, it's just all time. It's such a great scene.
Word, bro. And on the dog scene, it was like, you got enough for dogs? It's not chihuahuas.
No, man, you got to get the line right. Come on.
What he said?
I'm going to let you do it again.
I thought it was chihuahuas.
No, he says cats.
Oh, and that set up's Catwoman. Yeah, you're right. Okay, I'm done. I'm not good with my lines tonight.
Like, damn, good call. Good call. And then you said Chihuahua. What's going on a short? Number four, Wanted.
Mm,
Great
mm.
movie. Great movie on its own. Underrated still somehow. Maybe because it didn't have sequels, so like people kind of forget about it. But
Yeah, I don't understand how Wanted is not bigger than what Wanted is fire, bro.
it's like it was. It just has not had this like second life at all. I used to see it on TV once in a while, but
Hmm.
I feel like it has not caught the next generation of action fans.
Yeah.
And it's got curving bullets and Angelina Jolie.
Next,
Maybe it's because of the main actor,
he is
our
trash.
our boy from
Well,
no,
he's
I
not
think
trash in that movie. It's just that his face is ugly.
yeah, he's not a sex symbol.
Yeah, that's what it
He's
is.
he's a good actor, but it's like
Hmm.
that. I think yeah, there could have been a better action
If he was prettier,
or
that would have
just
got a part two.
yeah, I think maybe because they're trying to show that you don't have to be some Stallone action hero where like you're 300 pounds jacked for to be to curve a bullet like
But he wasn't a person to root for at the end of the movie. It was
not
like,
really.
eh.
Yeah, right. But again, this is Morgan Freeman's list, and anytime Morgan Freeman's can go,
Shoot this motherfucker.
I'll
Word.
never forget. I will never forget being in the theater when that line happened.
You
The
had to bust
whole
out laughing.
crowd erupted because it's supposed to be a tense scene, and Morgan Freeman of all people yelling that all time.
And how he said it.
Oh man. Number three, Bruce Almighty. He played a black god. Talk about controversial.
God is black.
Oh, my very, very religious conservative grandmother. I remember some talks at the at the house when that movie was coming out. There's really a black guy playing God, and he killed it. He killed it. Like talk about that's when you talk about the voice and the mannerisms. Of course, it
He's
was
a
Morgan
perfect
Freeman.
God too.
Who who president? This dude can do everything. Come on.
I was always thinking like Bruce Almighty is fired because of Jim Carrey, but I think if they would have messed God up, it would have messed the movie up.
Yep, you gotta have that secondary character
Mm-hmm.
where he just comes in 3, 4 scenes and kills it.
And God being black is the joke. That's
What do you
why
mean?
you watch the movie again. That's the joke.
Right?
God's black.
Is that why he doesn't answer our prayers?
He too busy getting whipped by the white gods. What the f- are you talking about?
All worth it. Number 2, 7. Now, 1 and 2 are toss-ups, and I think there's a clear distinction between the two. It just depends what I've watched recently, what I'm in the mood for.
Oh,
Because
so I know what number 1 is.
yeah, I mean, it's probably pretty obvious, but 7 is these are 2 of the most rewatchable movies I've ever watched. If they're on TV, I will always watch at least a half an hour. And he's not only like it's argued whether he's the bigger star of both, even with Brad Pitt, young, hot, six-pack Brad Pitt. Morgan Freeman holds his own as like a little bit of action hero. Like I know he's the elder guy, but he's funny. He's obviously the smarter one. He kind of grounds the movie. But that 7's incredible.
7 is better than your number 1.
Then number 1, shocking, Shawshank Redemption.
I would
But again,
put that as number 2. This is number 2. No, actually,
So-
I'm putting Lean on Me as number 2. I'm sorry, that's my movie, and I'll put Shawshank at 3. But
So I'm with you that 7's a better movie. But if
Mhm.
I'm including the performance, I mean,
Yeah.
he's red,
He's-
man. He's
yeah,
incredible in
he's better.
Shawshank.
Yeah, you're right. He's
Yes.
better in Shawshank, but Shawshank ain't the better movie.
It's the greatest voiceover in the history of movies.
Mm-hmm.
And without the voiceover, that movie's great, but it's not all time memorable. But when you got that voice narrating the movie and being the guy that everyone needs to go to in prison, like it works.
And I think that narration of that movie is what got him the rest of the narration jobs later, because
Right.
that narration does make that it doesn't make the movie. It's important.
It's incredibly important because you need to remember that they're supposed to be in jail for 35 years.
Yeah.
So a lot has to transition from year to year, and it's all his voice.
Mm-hmm.
It's all him.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone loves Goodfellas, and that's Ray Liotta speaking over the whole movie. I hate his voiceover in that movie.
Are you frying?
I think it's terrible. If you're comparing,
F you pay me. F you pay me. I like it. I'm sorry. Goodfellas is one of my favorite movies ever. Talk about rewatchable.
it's great, but his voiceover sucks. And Morgan Freeman,
It's because you're
shows-
comparing it to Morgan Freeman.
hey man,
Cool. Morgan Freeman might be the greatest one. Yo, Goodfellas is fire, bro. That's one of the most rewatchable movies ever.
but man, when Andy gets free and he's kind of reminiscing about him, and he goes,
I guess I just miss my friend.
right in the heart, right in the heart.